Okay, guys, this is the first match since we announced the DLC giveaway. Um, it's just me and a friend. He's going to play in the tournament too. We're just practicing, just fooling around, really. Just wanted to get a couple friendly games in and polish up on our respective builds. This build is fairly simple. I generally don't bring rattling guns, but I figured I'd bring two. We can control all of his fast movers if he has flyers. We can control them fairly easily. Anything comes to the ground, we can lock it down. We have two sets of warp grinders. We have two sets of rattling guns. We have the ROR mortar. We have two assassins. We have Icket Claw for our lord. He's anti-large. He's coming with he's coming with too much, but he's coming with Halliwarp Gale just in case they got flyers. He's coming with the Brass Orb, Lightning, and Scorch to get the archers. We got a full stack of Skaven slaves, spears. We have a full stack of Eshen's triads. And that is going to be the build. So without further ado, let's get to this first match. Alright, so we see he has his front line. You take a look at what he's got. He's got the branch wraith, he's got the big tree, he's got three sets of spears. He's got Orion. So I know he's probably got a lot of cavalry, probably some Way Watchers or Deepwood Scouts. We had discussed earlier before we started playing how Deepwood Scouts were pretty good, and Way Watchers are kind of a waste on Skaven, really. But he rolls forward. We're going to put the mortar into him once. He sees it coming, he pulls back. He's trying to pull us forward into a trap. He wants us to come forward, break our formation, so he can sweep with his cav from our right and his archers from our left. So we do a little moving here and there. He doesn't see our sneaky deployed force. We move our slaves out a little bit, open up a little bit, maybe invite him in for a charge. But all of our key units are just going to keep stationary for a second. But I realize he's pulling his core infantry back. I know he doesn't have anything in these woods. So we're going to rock these rattling guns up if he's going to give us the clearing. We're going to take that clearing right here. And maybe bait out his cav to try to flank us. And when they do, they're just going to charge into this. And they're just going to get wrecked. Meanwhile, both our assassins are sitting pretty. This is a good part of the debuff of debuffing his Wild Riders. And just now we see him come out of the trees. As we start tightening up, because we're going to go this way, we're going to take this hill and start defending. We see him bounce out, but we don't telegraph it. I'm just going to let him decide to do whatever he wants to, because these are super fast. If we blow our cover now, he's just going to roll around, and we're just going to waste our entire day chasing him. He sees this unit. He sees us charging out of the woods, and he kind of bounces away, but it's a little too late. He's been hit by the triad. He's been hit by the rattling guns, because we fast shifted onto him. We've got the mortar targeting him now that he's going slow, and we're just trying to hang him up just long enough to fire this mortar. We misclick and keep these rattling guns on pursuit. His other form of Wild Riders pulls out of the woods, and we need to start shooting him. Now I see him come out, and we get an attack order set on him. We just completely one-shot destroyed these guys. Attack order's going good. They're jammed up. They're charging straight into the spears. They just now see them. Unfortunately, our rattling guns lose sight and charge straight into this combat. So assassin comes forward to blunt the charge, charging to the assassins. The Eshen's triad, our leadership, but they get a good nibble on that rattling gun. Same time, his way stalkers come out of the other side of the woods, and they're on auto fire, so they preemptively fire on our Skaven slaves. We're going to let him do that because I know he wants to get this last set of Wild Riders free. He wants to get this loose because he can do a lot of damage. So we dropped the Brass Orb. We got him pinned in with our assassin. We're trying to save these rattling gunners because we're going to need them in a little while. Meanwhile, he's pushing up his infantry force now because he sees we kind of got this under control. A little miss micro here. After we got finished with that first group of Wild Riders, we spread our infantry out in an odd fashion. He's firing on our warp grinders, so that leads me to believe I'm not counting gold right now. That he's got more wild riders somewhere, and he's wanting to shut these guys down because he wants to get this second batch of wild riders around wherever they may be hidden. I rock up my Skaven spears. I just let him continue to shoot at the warp grinders. He's also shooting at rattling guns. I had rocked these guys up to start shooting at elves and put a damper on his plans because I can win the entire game. I can win the entire archer battle if I can just keep them away from these mortars while we reposition and fire, reposition and fire. Meanwhile, Ryan comes in, kind of isolated. We jump on him with the Ishin's Triad. We intercept Glade Guard with our Skaven Slave. He's got a few archers online, but he really doesn't have a lot to offer. He's trying to shoot these rattling guns. Our other set of rattling guns have come half health. They got a lot of ammunition though. We're just going to be pouring fire in, and we're just melting these archers. At this point, I lose sight of my micro on this side of the field, and we're going to start targeting. We're going to allow this mortar to fire into broken archers. But at the same time, we have Skaven spears here. We get his spears in a nice side shot, and we're just dumping fire into his guard. Same time, he gets a Hound's cast, but it doesn't do a lot. It goes in the wrong direction. We're just going to continue pour fire, pour fire, pour fire. We're going to bring up our warp grinders because now it's evident to me that he probably doesn't have any more wild riders. And we're going to create a buffer here. I thought I had one of these spears trapped, but I didn't. But they did charge into the effect. We drop our warp lightning over here to break these spears. We drop a brass orb as our pinning abilities stop with the warp grinders. All this is to keep the rattling guns firing. In order to avoid charging through this, he charges after our Skaven slaves, and it just allows our rattling guns more time to operate. His remaining archers have rocked up. They're shooting rattling guns, which is a good play. But at this point, he doesn't. There's too few of them to, I think, really affect the difference. We have his spellcaster over here and the tree pinned assassin, Eshin's Triad, Skrulk's running off, but we've got lots of Triad pouring in here. Everything else is broken and running off. Orion's out here battling it out with another batch of Eshin's Triad and the assassin. That's not good for him. Meanwhile, the remnants of the first rattling gun has come back and is just punishing what's left of the Deepwood Scouts, along with the mortar. And yeah, we did pretty good there. It's a pretty solid win. I hadn't had a warm-up game, and my friend I don't think has played in a little while, so this is probably his first game in quite some time. There's a great, what is it called, Awakening of the Woods. Does a good bit of burst damage, and I didn't even see that happen. So that's a good play there by his caster. He got a good bit of kills there, and he cast Shield of Thorns. So they're just anchored here in the trees. They're just trying to grind it out. The other set of warp grinders comes in and procs their ability. We're going to lock them down and shake them. And this does a little bit of damage, but I think just the pinning ability keeps them in one place, allows us to apply more damage with the infantry that's already there. But we kill Orion, and with that, everything else is broken. But it's a really good game to my buddy. It's his first game back. He's going to play in the tournament. We have a really extremely good game that we played, but I'm not going to cast out yet because he may use portions of that in some of his actual builds. So I'll hold off on that. But I hope you guys like this. Hope you guys message me, join the Discord, hit me up on Steam to play in the free LC giveaway. And I can catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace.